Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Well, I just rented another little rental property we had. And in the process of doing that, I had to dig pretty hard to find out the differences between two candidates that I had because they were both very, very similar. And while I was doing that, I was thinking, years ago I used to be a credit manager for a trade here in town. And we used some different information gathering tools there also. So I thought it'd be interesting to share with people different places where you can find information out about who you're looking for. Now, a lot of these you're going to have heard about, but some of them I'm going to be willing to bet you haven't. So sit back and enjoy. Hopefully we'll give you some ideas that'll help you make better decisions about not just people and renters, but also about who you're going to be doing business with. Now, of course, the first and easy one is just to Google them. And every girl that's ever been on a date in the last 30 years knows that you Google the guy first. So that's not a big one. Second one might surprise you, and a lot of times this will even work for individuals, and that's to get a Dun & Bradstreet rating. Now, I know that sounds hoity-toity, but you'd be surprised. Dun & Bradstreet goes out of their way to keep reports on small businesses. And you can find things out like about their net worth, what their business is, how long they've been in business, how they pay, what their credit limits are. You can find a lot out about by using Dun & Bradstreet. I highly recommend that one. Whenever I used Dun & Bradstreet on businesses, I was 99% sure it was going to be good if it came back good from them. And one is the credit bureau. Now, it used to be that you just file you paid a monthly fee and you could run as many as you want. These days it's changed. I think there is an annual fee, but there's also a per report fee. And right here, right now, it's $15 or $20, whatever it is. But that'll give you, for the individual or business, it will give you the entire credit rating history of the person. Where they are, what they've done business as, DBA names, net worth, how they pay their bills, how long they've been in business, what their credit limits are. You can find out a lot just by using the credit bureau. Another one we use here at the apartment complex is background checks. Now, if you get online to do a background check, you can get one done in state for free. But if you want to get a national background, that one's going to take a minute and it's going to cost you a penny. But here's why I recommend you do it. We had two that slipped through our fingers because we did not run national. One of them was an employee. He passed the state, but he had just moved here from Maine. And in Maine, he was in prison for beating a cop almost to death. He found him sleeping with his wife, but it didn't show up is my point. Another one was we had a pedophile move into our apartment complex. Now, we got him out a couple of days later when we did find out about the national, because it takes a minute for it to get from federal, that one, because once they get to the state, they have to register, and as soon as he registered, we got it. But it is important that you run, if you're going to run background, run state and federal. Another one you could do is trade organizations. I told you I was in a trade. I was a credit manager for plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company, and we just called other suppliers. Because a lot of times people that are in financial trouble, what they'll do is, like, let's say they go to A company that they've been going to forever, they get into a tight spot, they go open a B company, they run their credit limit there, then they go to C company. So if you're anywhere outside of A company, you can protect yourself by contacting trade organizations. And also, by contacting trade people, a lot of times, like heating and air conditioning, plumbing, painters, they also will have company reports on there. So just by calling their suppliers, you can find out about them personally and professionally. You can do the same with competitors of theirs. You know, if they're Bob's painting company, then call some of the big painters in town and say, hey, have you ever heard of Bob's? What do you know about Bob? And this is one that should be a staple in every landlord's arsenal, and that is to call past landlords. Now, we only ask for the last, I think, 5 years of landlords. And one thing you will learn very quickly is if they're stiff in their current landlord, the current landlord will either not respond or will lie to you. So it's best if you can get the last 5 years. That way, usually they don't last 5 years. If they're going to stiff you, they're going to stiff you in the first 6 months, and in 6 months to get them out. So if you go back a couple of years, those guys aren't going to lie to you. They're going to say, you know, I know they're limited right now, but the key question to ask when you do that is, would you re-rent to them? Or if you're looking to hire them, would you rehire them? And one of the new ones that I guess, again, females know this better than I do, but I was in the office when they were running a prospective employee, and they got on social media and checked him out. I mean, they checked out his friends list, checked out how long he'd been on there, age, date, background, interest, just to make sure there was no radical, crazy stuff on there. Social media is a good place to find out about people. Again, with employees, past or present employers. And again, if they're with one currently, the employer may lie to you or just not respond. But if you can get the past 2 or 3 employers, you get a pretty good idea. And you just call up and say, you know, you can ask anything you want, but the last question you always ask is, would you hire this person back? Friends and co-workers. If you know where this guy or gal used to work, go to their social media, find some of their friends, look them up, contact them. What do you know about this guy? How long have you been friends with him? How long have you known him? Is he a good guy? Does he work hard? And here's one that I don't think I've used. I might have. But that's county records. County records is just a plethora of information. I went down there one day, 20 years ago, to find something out about me, my past or something. I don't remember. But anyway, when they pulled me up, man, they had a lot on me. I mean, holy cow. From every property that I own, to both of my wives, to my first wife's will, to the copies of all the contracts we had made, contract for deeds, loans, mortgages, I mean, you name it, they had a copy of it, tax bills and all the rentals that I'd owned and all the houses I'd lived in. They had a lot of records on me. I was like, holy cow. So county records is the last one I could think of. It just depends on how important it is to get past information on people. But if you sit down and think about every place that you go, everything that you do, and there's probably a record of it somewhere, and as long as it's legal and it's accessible, go use it. If you put it all together, it'll help you make a better decision. As an example, my realtor rents my properties for me. And he gave me, he presented one to me one time, and I said, they got no history. And he said, yeah, Brian, but they're young. They got a little bit of history, not a lot. He said, but I've got a relative who pays everything in cash. Maybe they're cash. So I thought about it. I ended up doing some of these that I was talking about today. And I ended up not renting it to them. But they were borderline because of that. They were young and they did not use a lot of credit. And one of them was handicapped. No, that's the one I rented to. Well, I just thought it would be interesting to run through some of the places where you can find out about people and or organizations, not just to rent to them, but to find out who you're going to do business with. If you're going to contract some business with somebody, you want to make sure that the subs are getting paid. You're going to want to make sure that this guy's got insurance and is trustworthy. Go check out some of the off-the-wall kind of places to do a background check. You'll know pretty quick. If he doesn't pay his subs, trust me, the subs will get on his social media and hound him to death. So, I just thought it'd be interesting. You guys have a great day, a great week, and happy investing.